Babylon is a small anime that had people hooked when it was airing, but has been forgotten about due to how bad its ending was. In this video, I want to quickly examine the major issues with its story. The premise of Babylon is that a law is about to be passed that makes self-deletion legal. The antagonists are for it, and the detective protagonist is against it. The story tries to deal with ethics. A cat and mouse detective story with ethics as the thematic focus immediately reminds me of Monster and Death Note, two stories that handled their themes pretty well. The story fumbles by not taking inspiration from them. The first problem the story runs into is the overconfidence of the writer. If you gave me this premise, I would start by finding a moral philosophy that supports self-deletion and give that to the villains. Then I'd find one that is against it and give that to the heroes. These opposing beliefs would clash in physical ways over the course of the story, ending with the hero winning. For the bad guys, you could go with existentialism, liberalism, or subjectivism. For the hero, deontology is the easiest choice, but teleology could also fit in certain situations. That's not what this writer does. Instead of relying on the wisdom of thinkers before us, the writer thinks they can make up their own branch of moral philosophy that opposes self-deletion. Their answer is, to continue is good and to stop is bad. What the hell is that? The idea is that to stop your own life is bad, but everyone dies, so is natural death bad too? There are so many other ways you could poke holes in this Babylonian philosophy. The story had plenty of ethics to choose from. In Monster, Tenma is deontological, while Johan is existential. In Death Note, light is the law, and L follows the Japanese law. The overconfidence of the writer led to them creating an atrocious philosophy, which resulted in a garbage theme. The second major problem is that the truth comes in too late. The lie is obviously that self-deletion is good. The truth is that it's bad, which is backed by the Babylonian philosophy. The problem is that this answer only comes in the last episode, which means that for 90% of the story, the themes don't clash. For most of the story, the heroes can't conjure up a decent counter to why committing Sudoku shouldn't be legalized. This leads to them rushing at the end, with all of the world leaders sitting around discussing intro to ethics like it's their first year in high school. Even when they finally got the answer, there was no externalization of this thematic conflict. The villains also don't really have a strong argument for self-deletion, but they at least have an interesting externalization of it. Magase, the main antagonist, has the supernatural ability to make people delete themselves. In conclusion, Babylon failed its themes by trying to create its own moral philosophy when there are many available that would do the trick, and by not allowing its opposing themes to properly clash throughout the story. There are other writing issues, but I think the failure of the theme was the most disappointing part for me, and the trait that, if fixed, would have made the story much better.